Hello girls, it's Friday. For real this time. This week I think has been the most terrifying, angry, angsty, stressful week I've had in a very, very long time. And that's because my parents decided it was time for me to decide my future. Which is epically vast and scary, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So we'll see how it goes. We had a college fair last night at my school, and I picked up this and these, all of which relate to my high school, or my post-high school experience. I have stuff from OSU and Kenyon, which I'd never heard of, but it's in Ohio, and Kitchen Academy, which is another place I will probably never go, but I want to be there. Trinity Western was also there, which is a Christian liberal college in Canada, which is kind of just amazing that it's Christian and liberal and in Canada. So that's initially what got me interested in it. But I talked to the counselor there, and they were like, yeah, we have a pre-med program, but you know, you have to like finish out your doctorate at University of British Columbia, who didn't have a booth there. But I checked them out, or I'm going to check them out online, because that got me interested in UBC. So we'll see what happens with that. These are all from the University of Washington, which is exciting. It's probably where I'm going to end up going. And a whole bunch of information on financial stuff. So all in all, it was very intimidating. Thursday, me and Jessica and Ryan, we went to Jamba Juice because it's Ryan and I's Friday tradition, but since we don't have school this Friday, we were just going to do it on Thursday because it was cool, and so we saw this while we were driving home. It's full! Oh my god, it's so creepy! Oh, I'm so stalking! I'm really scared! I'm not gonna lie! I'm afraid of that! Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about, like, mascots or things where people are in full body suits and you can't see their faces, but they generally freak me out because I need eye contact, or at least knowing that they have eyes. And this was scary for me. Like, ew, it creeped me out. It was gross. I hate inflatable people. This is called improv. Once upon a time, there was a little alien named Zelda. Zelda was really awkward because her ears were funny and her eyes moved in weird directions, and she had an antenna, and a lot of people didn't like her because she looked sort of freaky. So they were intimidated by that freakiness, and they didn't make friends with her. Sean. The only problem with Zelda was that, you know, she was really nice on the inside, and she was a good person. She was just really awkward because she didn't feel like, you know, she had any friends. But she did like this guy named Troy, whose nickname was Zach. We don't know why. We're pretty sure it's his middle name, me and Zelda. And she totally liked him and wanted to be together forever. But, you know, Troy, being a general meanie head, didn't like Zelda, so with him. And so Zelda's sitting here all alone, and she's like, oh, you know, if I don't have any friends, I'm never going to have, like, a boyfriend, and I'm never going to get self-validation, and it's just going to be a horrible train wreck. And so she was like, maybe I should sort of, like, change my appearance. So she tried changing her eyes, but she couldn't because those are really hard to change on anybody. And she tried changing her ears, but there's not really a lot you can do to change your ears. And she tried taking off the little antenna on top of her head, but she was like, if I take that off, then I don't have any hair, so that's the only thing I have going for me. So this depressed Zelda. So while she was trying to change all of these things, she was trying to look at all the other kids that she knew to get some inspiration. And one day she saw Jessica the fish. And Jessica had big brown eyes. But, you know, they looked pretty good on her. And Zelda was like, I have big black eyes, which are almost brown. And I wonder if they might look as good as me, or good on me, as they do on Jessica the fish. And so she looked at herself, and she was like, man, my eyes are pretty kick-ass. So she kept her eyes the same. And then one day, like the next day, Bailey the bunny came along, and she was like, you know, Bailey the bunny also has very strange ears. But even I have strange ears. And you know, she can pull it off pretty well, and I wonder if I can too. And she looked at herself and she was like, man, my ears are also pretty kick-ass. And so she was like, I'm gonna keep them because I value my ears. And then, like the next day, Heather the owl came along. And Zelda was like, okay, Heather the owl is totally pretty, and I'm not. But you know what? Heather the owl has wings. And I don't have wings. And I don't know. Somehow she can pull it off. Even though that's completely different from like Jessica the fish or Bailey the bunny. So if I'm completely different, like Heather is, then I can be cool too, because Heather's really pretty and popular. I get it. It's because all three of these people, animals, feel comfortable in their own skin, that they can look so good. That's it. I totally understand it now. So Zelda felt much better about herself, and even though Troy still didn't notice her, she knew deep down in her heart that's because he was just a big jerk, because that's what he really was. And she felt really good about herself, and she didn't need men to make herself feel validated. The end. Yeah, there are so many reasons I would be a bad teacher for elementary school students, and this is one of them. My other challenge was to introduce somebody that you guys didn't know, and I'm going to introduce him right now. So, hello, what is your name?
I'm Mark, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so...
I don't know what to talk to you about, because they were just like...
Well, then what's the point of this?
I don't know, they just said introduce somebody they don't know. That's really hot. I apologize for the poor lighting quality. We did that in a practice room, because Mark is in music theory with me, and I love him to death. He's also like 6'4", which is insane. Like, his hip comes up to like right here on me. I might be exaggerating a little, but not that much, I don't think, actually. Mark, you're a giant. Your challenge this week is to show me 3 childhood pictures, because Heather had adorable glasses when she was a kid, and Jessica looks nothing now like she did when she was a baby, and I find this fascinating. So, if you are AP IB credits, you are Heather, and if you are scholarships, you are Jessica. Jessica! Awesome. You are going to show me childhood pictures, which I look forward to. And I hope you guys have a great 3-day weekend, and I will see y'all potentially tomorrow at the basketball game. But if not then, I will see you on Monday. Bye.